Robert Conrad, right here on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
Tune in to the PM Show with Robert Conrad, 3 p.m. Pacific Time, 6 p.m. Eastern, right here on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
Everybody's talking at me.
My guest, Carrie Pickett, Washington Times. You can read her entire article at WashingtonTimes.com. California Penal Code pertaining to immigration is similar to Arizona's SB 1070. Now, Carrie, this is to show you how these people, think that you just fell off the turnip truck, He tells you, and just imagine, this is, a mighty, mighty Los Angeles City Councilman, Ed Rios, okay? And he says, if he's driving in Arizona, if I come across an officer who's had a bad day and feels the picture on my ID is not me, I could be deported. Now, can you imagine the publicity that would cause? I mean, chances are you'd say, oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Councilman, go ahead and, try to hold it under 95 instead of 103 miles per hour. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if that's ignorance or if he actually thought I was going to believe that, because here's the thing, is that the cops, if they think that you are an undocumented individual, if you're an illegal, however you want to refer to it, they're not going to take you to south of the border and then leave you there.
I know.
I mean, that's just cockamamie. What would eventually happen, and this, of course, only happened after they end up arresting you for a crime.
Another crime, yes.
Completely unrelated to what to your legal status. You end up being taken over to INS or ICE, and then they deal with you, and then you're completely out of that cop's jurisdiction at that point. Cop isn't going to be deporting you, and that is what I found to be so interesting about his response there.
And you know what, Carrie, I'll tell you something, seriously, the cop's not going to deport you, and chances are, if they found out you're illegal and they turn you over to ICE, then, who knows, maybe Holder, Napolitano, or even the Commander-in-Chief might not even deport you. Now, I got a call from a listener here in just a second, but I got to get the most important thing. When you ask him if he thought illegal aliens should be, or undocumented immigrants, I can't remember how you exactly put it, should be deported, what was his answer, Carrie?
It was sort of interesting. He kind of said something to the effect of, well, who's to say who should be deported, essentially. At that point, and that was after he sort of danced around the question. It took him a while to actually answer that question.
And he never really said yes or no. It's according to who you think should be. And then he got really feisty, and I guess he hung up on you, did he not? Yeah,
he got a little upset because at that point it just turned into a circular firing squad because I kept on asking the same question, and he wouldn't answer, and he kept on going off into the same answer, and it just was, at that point it was getting fruitless. I mean, unfortunately, I didn't know about the California the California Penal Code, until after the fact, which would have been nice to sort of put in there. But, however, the California Penal Code is related to the federal immigration law of the past 70 years, and unfortunately, there are so many sanctuary cities that simply ignore federal immigration laws, and that's what I believe a lot of these sanctuary city politicians are simply concerned about.
And, of course, that's against the law, too, to have a sanctuary city. That's against federal law,
Absolutely.
But they don't want to do it. Okay, let's take a call real quick before we run out of time. Al, you're on with Carrie.
Yeah, Chuck, quick call for your guest. The question is, I'm wondering if this is not part of a battle tactic, and on the one hand, they don't read the bills and report on it accurately, and conversely, they start talking about national sovereignty like it was the equivalent of Nazi Germany or the Soviet Union. If this is all an intentional orchestration, because when you get these ridiculous answers about sovereignty or not enforcing these laws, you find a common thread here that there has to be an orchestration here. These people aren't dumb. These people aren't disjointed. And I was wondering if she thinks there's a thread with all of this incomplete reporting and passing judgment on bills they haven't read.
You know what? That's actually a very good point. It's something that I actually had been thinking about because here's the thing. Where are we right now as far as season-wise? We are in election season. Obama's poll numbers are in the tank or not where they should be. Job numbers are horrible. And he needs to really gin up a base that needs to get out there for him. And two of those bases are the Latino base as well as the African American base. And if they could hang their hats on a bill which could have blindly passed in the Arizona legislature without people even knowing it passed. I mean, it could have passed during the Bush administration. No one wouldn't even give it a second thought. But during the Obama administration, at this point in time, they said, let's gin up all the Latinos and let's get them out there and get them really angry over something. Because keep in mind, this legislation is only as strong as the people who actually enforce it. If it's not enforced, it's just nothingness.
Final point along that line, Chuck, real quickly. You were reading the grounds for asylum about belonging to a religious group, social group, political group. Now, if you add that all up, that comes to about 1 billion people on the planet that could request asylum in the United States.
Talking about Obama's half-sister that just...
Oh, yeah. I mean, you could say the entire population of North Korea could be moved to Denver.
Yeah. Listen, Al, thank you very much, and we're just about out of time, Carrie, and let me just, for the listeners, give them Section 834B of the California Penal Code, which Carrie has in her article in the Washington Times. This is for California. All right, so Reyes, don't play the race card with us. Just read the law. Every law enforcement agency in California shall fully cooperate with the United States Immigration and Naturalization Service regarding any person who is arrested if he or she is suspected of being present in the United States in violation of federal immigration laws. Arizona, are you listening? Boycott California. That would work, huh? Cut off the water from the Colorado River.
So, actually, I'll be very quick. I just read on Hot Air, Ed Morris, he's he's reporting this. I understand that the Arizona Utility Commissioner already sent a letter to the mayor of Los Angeles saying, bring it on because we're ready to shut off your electricity.
Well, Carrie, if you get a chance, go to my blog for yesterday, and I don't know if you saw it or not, but the letter, the editorial the guy wrote about the Phoenix Suns basketball team, boy, perfect example of what they should just read that, and that really sums it up if you get a chance. Hey, thank you very much, and wish we'd had time to talk about the air pressure in the tires. That's another great story, but anyway, Carrie Pickett, Washington Times, I look forward to our next visit.
Absolutely. Take care, Chuck.
Thank you. Right now I want to go to Bob Unruh. He's news editor for WorldNet Daily. Bob, hey, thanks for waiting, sir. How are you?
No problem, and thank you very much.
Boy, you always come up with these stories, you know, just like Carrie Pickett, Washington Times, and Bob Unruh. It's almost like put these two on and a couple of others,